Makayo and that was Trua, two members of our killer whale family, both demonstrating their incredible size, speed, power, and complex learning abilities. These behaviors keep our whales active and engaged. SeaWorld's killer whales have inspired generations all over the world, and we're excited to share their stories with you today.
Killer whales are the ocean's top predator. They use cooperation and communication, not just size and strength, to take their place at the top of the ocean's food web. At the bottom are small animals, like krill. At the top, the apex predator, the killer whale. Killer whales are as big as a bus, faster than an Olympic swimmer, high flying and powerful.
We're going to see all of that and more. These behaviors contribute to an environment full of enrichment.
We spend days, weeks, months, and years building relationships with our whales. This creates trust, and that allows us to do some amazing things. For example, when you visit the doctor, you present your arm to draw blood, or step on the scale to see how much you weigh. It's much the same with our whales.
Today, you'll see the whales moving together in unison. These synchronized behaviors strengthen social bonds and enable them to problem solve as a group. Working together as a team is what makes the killer whale the ocean's top predator. Scientifically, they're known as Orca, but they're more commonly referred to as killer whales. Well, here at SeaWorld, we like to call them Katina, Nalani, Malia, Trua, and Makayo, our killer whale family. Our youngest killer whale here at SeaWorld Orlando is Makayo, and he's just 14 years old. Our oldest whale is Makayo's mother, Katina. She's also the leader or matriarch of our pod here at SeaWorld. Now, our animal training techniques create a language between us and the whales. It's a language of learning through positive reinforcement, encouragement, commitment, and care. Through these techniques and our relationships, the whales will learn to trust us. They will partake in many different types of sessions all throughout the day here at SeaWorld. You all just saw one of the sessions that we call an exercise session, right in the opening of Orca Encounter. That's where we get the whales' heart rates up with all of the jumps that you saw. Very similarly to you and I, it's very important that the whales exercise to stay healthy. But there are many different things that we can do with the whales to make sure that they stay healthy. In fact, they do participate every single day here at SeaWorld with us in their voluntary health care. Now, the whales, they vary in size, as you've probably noticed. We actually know that our smallest whale right now is in the 5,000 pound range, and our largest killer whale is 8,000 pounds. Now, an average sized killer whale out in the wild will average around 5,000 and all the way up to 12,000 if they're a male. So we know that they're those sizes because we're taking care of them every single day. But one of the very first behaviors that we train the whales in order to help take care of them is what our two females, Nalani and Malia, are demonstrating right now, and that is a voluntary blood sample. The whales have been trained to roll ventrally or upside down, as you can see here, and present their tail flukes. Not only does this give us a great view of their whole bodies, but it also gives us access to blood vessels that we can easily see on the white undersides of their tail flukes. Our veterinarians collect a blood sample from our whales at least once a month, and they're trained to remain calm and relaxed throughout the entire procedure. Now, as trainers, we're very frequently rubbing down or massaging the whales, which you've already probably noticed today. They have very sensitive skin, so this is one of the many ways that we can reinforce them for staying calm and participating in procedures like the blood sample. But that's only one of the many ways that we can make sure the whales stay healthy. We talked about just how very big the whales can get, and one of the very important diagnostics that we do is weigh the whales. Now, we can weigh them by asking them to slide their whole bodies up and out of the water, but onto a giant killer whale-sized scale that we have in an adjacent pool. Today, we're going to demonstrate this here in our slide-out area for all of you, and you'll notice that the whale's portion of their body, all the way from the dorsal fin on their back to their tail, will still be in the water. That area is called the peduncle, and it's very muscular and very heavy. In fact, natural athletic behavior we see in all killer whales is the ability to turn their body completely around before re-entering the water. But in this scenario, to make sure that we get an accurate weight of our killer whales, we will simply ask them to lift that part of their body up and out of the properly, and our older whales are maintaining a healthy weight.
And the care isn't just physical. Mental stimulation and play are vital, and we surprise and engage with our whales in every opportunity. Play is how killer whales teach their young to hunt, and for the adults, play is important too. It seems that they just enjoy having fun. Making time for play is an important part of life for killer whales and for us.
Hello everyone, I'm over here on the left side of the stadium by the glass. Did you guys know that killer whales love to play? They actually learn a lot by playing, but also through mimicry and observation, and we're gonna put that to the test today with our killer whale family and all of you. So, are you guys ready to have some fun? All right, excellent. Okay, so it looks like we have Haley over here with Nilani and Malia. We're gonna play a killer whale game of follow the leader with all of you on this side of the stadium. So everyone here, stand up on your feet. All right, I'm gonna give you some instructions, and this is what you're gonna do. When I count to 3, you're gonna raise both your hands up over your head and wave your hands. All right, now the killer whales are gonna be watching you, and let's see what they do. Ready? 1, 2, 3, hands up and wave. And they've got it. Nice job, everyone. You can all have a seat. Now, as you can see, both of our killer whales are paying very close attention to every single one of you. They have very good eyesight and they're incredibly curious, and sometimes we'll see them jumping all the way up out of the water just to get a better look around. And it looks like our 2 females are on their way over here, so when you see them, I want to hear a huge cheer for our 2 females, Nilani and Malia. Wow, excellent job. How about a round of applause for our female killer whales? Well, as you can see, killer whales are amazing athletes. They can eat several hundred pounds of food every single day. Now in the wild, their diets depend on where they're located and the time of year, but unfortunately, overfishing, pollution, and other factors are having serious impacts on some killer whale populations.
Killer whales are impressive animals, and it's pretty obvious why they're the top predator in the ocean. That means killer whales are invincible, right?
Killer whales depend on a plentiful food source and a clean environment. They're completely dominant, yet completely dependent.
When it comes down to it, killer whales are not the most powerful animal in the ocean.
Their future depends on you.
Through your actions.
Through the choices we all make.
We hold the future of killer whales and the oceans in our hands.
Killer whales continue to surprise and amaze us. They're the perfect ambassador of the ocean, limitless, connected, powerful, but still vulnerable.
The challenges that we face can seem insurmountable.
Don't give up. Be inspired.
The ocean needs our help, and that seems overwhelming, but together we can make it happen.
There's so much to learn.
So much to protect. So much to explore.
The killer whale story is still being written, and there are simple things we all can do to make a difference.
All it takes is one choice.
One positive act.
One ripple that can grow and grow.
And change the world.
Together, we've got this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you've enjoyed Orca Encounter. Have a wonderful rest of your night right here at SeaWorld. Goodbye, everyone.